so that I obtain a wider perspective on geopolitical events. I listen to everybody. A lot of the time, I listen to Alex Jones in the morning, unless he's screaming, ramping, raving about something. And then I end the day with Don Lemon. That's the only way you get a full perspective. With a few other European channels, such as RT, BBC News, Sky News, Al Jazeera. But the thing about talk radio in Los Angeles that I have observed, or listened to, I guess you could say, I have found that the difference between the hosts is this. Conservative talk show hosts love to brag about everything they have. Oh, they have their big houses and all the money and the investments they have, and they brag about all the trips they're going to take. And the liberal commentators on talk radio bitch and complain about everything and how poor people are and how terrible it is and so on and so forth. And it doesn't matter who's president. And the one that I find that brags the most is a radio host, Hugh Hewitt. My first introduction to him was when he used to debate Juan Williams on KCET's Life and Times along with Pat Morrison. Hugh Hewitt loves to tell everybody that he has a home here and he has a home in D.C., and that he is going to invest all his stocks into Amazon and all the money he has, and he's going to take a trip and so on and so forth. I have never seen anybody who has more of an inferiority complex and an ego as Hugh Hewitt. And, they love that special pillow, or I think it's called the My Pillow. They love to talk about it. And then they also love to talk about this fish pill that they love, which is this relief factor. Of course, I'm allergic to seafood, so it doesn't do me any good. And Hugh Hewitt, every time that he's on the radio, he will actually take the pills. You'll hear him put them in his mouth. He'll take a cup of water and swallow, and he'll start to try to talk with the pills as he's swallowing down. I mean, this guy is an absolute character. And, he was never like that, 20, 30 years ago. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, he loves to brag about that he's, whatever feature movie that is out, he's right there. He's already seen it. He was the first in line, he and his wife, and so on and so forth. I have never seen anybody who brags more than Hugh Hewitt. But, that's how it is. And I think they all get that from Rush, because Rush Limbaugh was the first one that I was aware of that loved to brag about everything he had. And I'll never forget, he used to pound his fist on the desk and say how drugs were destroying this nation and people that used narcotics were destroying this nation. And guess what happened to Rush, as we all know and remember? Well, anyway, that's all I want to say about the difference in talk radio. I listened from everybody to Hugh Hewitt to Pat Thurston's show up in San Francisco. And, it's the same thing. The conservatives, they love to brag about their stuff. The commercials they have on there are all about, what you can do with all your money, and you can invest here, and you can get this for your home, and so on and so forth. And the liberal talk show hosts, it's a whole different angle on it, and it's all, how terrible things are and people. And I would like to see a lot more of the liberal talk radio stations advertise commercials and benefits for people, where people can get food if they're starving, where they can get in, rental assistance, more things with HUD. I think that would be something. And so that's one area where the conservatives, they have ads that cater to their audience. The liberal hosts, they don't. And, they'll talk about maybe a restaurant here, a museum there, and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on the current scene in talk radio.